This is the weather forecast video for Tuesday, August the 23rd, 2011. Let's take a look at the satellite image from last evening. You can see a cold front has moved off the eastern seaboard of the United States. A warm front is moving into the state, bringing some showers and thunderstorms over the northwestern part of the state early this morning. Here's the watch morning map from just before 1 in the morning. Some severe weather was occurring over northwest Iowa and southwest Minnesota, with the storms moving to the southeast. Otherwise, the rest of the nation was fairly quiet. But it won't be fairly quiet later today, with a slight risk of severe weather over southeastern Minnesota, the eastern part of Iowa, northern Illinois, northwest Indiana, the western half of lower Michigan, and most of Wisconsin. Here's the tornado outlook for today and tonight. A 5% chance of seeing a tornado over southeastern Minnesota, southwestern Wisconsin, northeastern Iowa, and northwestern Illinois, centered around Prairie du Chien. Here's the damaging wind outlook for today and tonight. The standard 15% risk area in typical slight risk areas from eastern Minnesota and Iowa eastward into Illinois, Wisconsin, lower Michigan, and northwest Indiana. Here's the large hail outlook for today and tonight. The standard 15% risk in the same area as the damaging wind outlook, except for the black hatched area over southeast Minnesota, extreme western Wisconsin, and northeastern Iowa. This is the helicity, the 0 to 1 kilometer helicity at 1 a.m. Wednesday morning. Shows that numbers will be up there to see some rotating updrafts, at least in the eastern part of the state. Here is the most unstable cape, the MUCAPE at 1 a.m. Wednesday morning. Shows cape values over 4,000 joules over central into northeastern Iowa, with 3,000 joules also. Here is the significant tornado parameter at 10 p.m. Tuesday evening. Shows values over 7 in eastern Iowa into western Wisconsin and northwest Illinois. Here's the supercell potential index at 10 p.m. Tuesday evening, or this evening. You can see the numbers are the red areas in northern Missouri, which may be capped into northeast Iowa and western Wisconsin. And the significant severe parameter, or known as the Craven-Brooks parameter at 10 p.m., shows the red areas over Iowa into Wisconsin and southeastern Minnesota. And one more, here's the 0 to 1 kilometer energy helicity index, with numbers peaking around 3, 4, and 5 over southeast Iowa, so we could see some active weather later today. In the tropics, this is Hurricane Irene, top sustained winds at 100 miles per hour. It's north of Hispaniola, moving northwesterly, heading toward the Turks and Caicos Islands. Here's the forecast track of Irene, expected to take it over the Bahamas through Wednesday into Thursday, and then begin to recurve and possibly make landfall somewhere between around Myrtle Beach or maybe Wilmington by this weekend. QPF chart shows where Irene will be, the big huge blob of yellow over the ocean east of Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina. Meanwhile, in the state of Iowa, amounts range from 1/10 of an inch to upwards of 1 inch. Now we get to the 0Z GFS Model Run at 1 p.m. today. Here's a west to northwesterly flow aloft. You can see the big red area north of Hispaniola being Irene. Irene will be in that area. For us, however, we'll see some showers and thunderstorms. Some could be severe, especially in the eastern part of the state through the evening hours. Wednesday, possibly an early morning shower. Otherwise, it'll be partly to mostly sunny, with highs in the 80s with some humidities. Thursday, high pressure moves in. It'll be cooler, highs in the upper 70s to low 80s, with dew points down from the near 70. It could be today and Wednesday to the low 60s. Friday, model wants to bring in some possible chances of some showers and storms, especially over the western part of the state late Friday into Friday night. Saturday, you can see Irene off the South Carolina, North Carolina coast near about Cape Fear. Meanwhile, in our weather, we'll see a frontal system sagging into the state with a possibility of showers and storms. Sunday, it becomes a little more diffuse, maybe isolated activity. Otherwise, the main weather attention will be on Irene moving through the middle Atlantic states, somewhere near Dover, Delaware. And by Monday, start off the new week, the frontal system moves east of the state, high pressure begins to move in, and the remnants of Irene will be over the New England states moving into Canada. A week from today, Tuesday, the 30th, a west-east flow begins across the country as the remnants of Irene move off the Canadian Maritimes. And in our weather, a new storm system will be forming west of the state over the plains that is expected to bring us some more rain, possibly in the middle of next week. We move further into Voodoo. Here's September the 3rd. This is during Labor Day weekend, a little bit of a dip over the center part of the country, otherwise a ridge over the south. With that, a high pressure system over South Dakota, but it shows some showers and thunderstorms, so it could be a dirty high or overdoing convection. And at the end of the forecast, on September the 7th, bit of a trough extending from Hudson Bay southwestward toward the North Pacific Northwest, otherwise a west-southwesterly flow over most of the country. And with that, a low pressure possible north of here, some showers and storms scattered about from the Mississippi River to the east, so we could see some very active weather over the upcoming 2 weeks. Thank you for tuning in to the very long weather forecast video. We'll have another one tomorrow.